Hey everyone, welcome to the Elite Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Popple, along with my co-host, William McClellan. How's it going today, Will?
What's happening, man? What's happening, man? Let's do it.
Man, we got a great guest today, James with Giant Realty. James is the lead sponsor and principal investor for a syndication. He's going to talk to us a little about today. He's in charge of sourcing, underwriting, leading the project from acquisition to completion. James leads with an owner's mindset and a commitment to transparency, aligning his success directly with that of his investors. He invests personally in every project he leads, ensuring alignment across all stages and executions and return delivery. Without further ado, welcome to the show, James.
Wow, what a great introduction. Thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for having me, guys.
Excited to have you on the show. And man, we love talking to people that are into syndicating, into big multifamily deals. That's a direction Will and I are definitely wanting to go to as we're doing some building right now. But James, for those of you who don't know you yet, give us a quick snapshot of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is James. I'm located here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Love this city. I've been here since 1998.
Nice.
So, yeah, know the market really well. It's primarily where I focus on investing. I'll tell you guys, this market, it's highly underrated, and it's a hot market right now. So, yeah. I also own a construction general contracting business. I've been in business for 10 years now. We do construction of all sorts. I've done a ton of work for different apartment buildings and, also just different real estate throughout the city. And that's what really got me turned on to it, just seeing so much of it that's available and just the potential that's there for it, so.
Yeah, man. So what kind of drew you into real estate investing? Were you always in construction, or what's the background, and how'd you get to Indy in '98? And obviously you love it if you're still there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came here in 1998 to study AutoCAD engineering.
Oh, nice.
So I got a good understanding for construction and blueprints, even land surveying and that sort of stuff. So that's where it all kind of started for me. And then I've been in the city. I've kind of seen it evolve and grow. You can kind of see the direction that the city's been, moving. And just being in construction, you're driving around all over town a lot, so you
Yeah,
kind of
always.
get a good feel for what the city's doing, in different locations. So I think that's what kind of got me into the real estate, was just the construction kind of draws me into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
we actually have one of our good friends, and he just took a trip and he was a former guest as well, and he took a trip up to Indianapolis, and he has another friend that actually moved to Indianapolis due to just a large influx of multifamily investing. And so I like how you're kind of saying it's a sleeper market, but there's a lot of action, and you guys
so
are
much activity. There's
Yeah.
cranes all over the place. I mean,
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, some of the apartments that are being built right now are massive. I mean, you're talking like 400 or 500 unit complexes,
that is
and they're
nuts.
throwing them up like they're just made out of Lego blocks. I mean, they're throwing them up so fast it's hard to even keep track of. And the thing is, they're all being filled because there's so much new activity, new jobs that are coming to the market. There's a huge medical facility downtown Indianapolis. It's like $4.6 billion has been invested in this project. I mean,
Wow.
they literally leveled like about 15 square city blocks, and they're just building this huge like medical training facility right next to Methodist Hospital, which is already the biggest hospital in the state. So you have IU Health, which is also partnered with the IU, the Hoosiers. By the way, they're doing great in football.
Oh yeah, they're doing good.
But they also have a satellite campus, which is downtown. They're expanding, as well as a Purdue campus, which is a strong engineering school. They're
Yeah.
expanding. So you're getting a huge influx of young professionals who are moving here. The city's super clean, so it's easy to get around. And, the people who move here, they like it. They love to stay, So that's what's really neat to see.
Yeah. Tell us about those early days. What kind of projects were you working on before you began investing in yourself?
Oh yeah, well I started out. I worked in a metal shop. Actually, we did. I did a lot of reverse engineering to price out certain parts. We had a lot of racing teams that would come through there.
Makes
Um,
sense. Indy 500.
yeah, so a lot of custom one-off parts that we were able to make, and so that was like a big part of where I started. Like finding a project, you got to reverse engineer it, and then find out how to make it.
That's cool.
Take it from drawing to creation. So with that, that's kind of also moved into construction. Once I found construction, it's actually a lot simpler than that, but it's very
Yeah.
similar in the same sense, and because it's taking a vision and creating it. So I love that part of it.
Right.
Man, that's awesome. So fast forward a little bit. You're underwriting deals, you're leading projects, you're getting into big projects. Take us through that step. So you're starting on with specialty parts for racing, got into construction, and now you've just like shot up on the bell curve. Tell us
Yeah,
tell us a little bit
absolutely.
about that journey.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think just really investing in yourself, that's something I've always continued to want to make sure I do. I mean, anybody who knows me, any spare minute I have, I'm working on, something that's going to be building for the future. And that's really what I love about the real estate. I love to sit down and underwrite deals, um, you know, find out how they work mathematically, and that's just something that I really enjoy doing. So I'm also doing a lot of self improvement. Grant Cardone's a big mentor of mine. He's
That's probably, I'm sure that's how we got connected. I don't know if it was GrowthCon or
Yeah,
Real Estate Club. It was one of those,
yeah,
though.
it was absolutely. I think we were at GrowthCon
Yeah,
out there in Vegas, right?
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, what an amazing event. That was my second one I got to go to. Too bad that he's not having those anymore. But man, those events have really changed me, and really inspired me to dream bigger, do more, to continue to believe in myself. And I'll tell you, that's what Grant really instills in people around him. So
Oh,
having
for
him
sure.
as a mentor is super huge.
Yeah.
Um,
Every time I leave one of those events, I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Oh yeah, super great. I get it. But
Yeah.
it's the more I get to know Grant, the more I really find that he's got a genuine heart to really just make sure people are successful. You
That's
know.
awesome.
Um,
At what point did you start underwriting your own deals and leading your projects from end to end?
yeah, so I started studying real estate and especially the multifamily real estate for about 6 months before I really understood how to underwrite. But I've probably been underwriting deals for about 2.5 years now, pretty steadily. I try to do at least 3 or 4 a week.
Cool. And then how many projects have you done as far as multifamily?
As far as multifamily, well, I'm invested as a limited partner in 445 units.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then and I've been investing in multifamily for about 2 years now. And then, but yeah, also working to become a GP deal on a nice little 40 unit property. And that's coming together pretty nicely as well.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
that's awesome. Is that an Indy?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's cool. So right at home. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's super great. I'd love to share more about it. If you guys want to reach out, yeah, feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Uh,
Now
for
you're
sure.
not. I was gonna say you're not just the deal guy. You're a builder. How does that hands-on construction experience give you an edge when you're evaluating and repositioning a property?
Yeah, it makes it easy for me to see, what kind of work has been done. I got a keen eye for shoddy work or, stuff that's not looking as it should. Um, so just having that background, I think, it really helps me have the confidence, finding a good deal that, you know, uh, even behind the walls, there's some things that you can kind of look for or,
Yeah.
just kind of feel out just from experience.
No, it's kind of funny. I'm a big I'm a big new construction guy, ground up. Behind the walls makes me nervous. But it's really hard to scale until you can scale, right? You're saying you see all kinds of cranes everywhere, and they're building 400 or 500 units. Like that's the vision that we're having. But there's
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
steps kind of filing in between those, which I'm super thankful that you came on, kind of filling those gaps of how do you properly underwrite these deals and do like what are the processes that are needed. I know you said you're in over 440 limited as a limited partner, but now you're going to be in a 40 unit deal as general partner. So tell us a little bit about what it takes to get to that underwriting step. Because I think you said you've been writing deals for, I have it written down here, 2.5 years, and you try and go through 2 to 5 deals a week underwriting. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
big
So,
time.
well, thank you. I don't feel like I'm doing enough still, but I just try to look at deals, talk to brokers as much as I can, um, and I think it just takes it's a patience game. You know what I mean? I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
big part of that.
Yeah.
Just go ahead.
Why don't you walk us through your typical process for deal sourcing and construction
Absolutely.
management, and like and maybe even talk us how you got this current deal under contract.
Sure, yeah. So, finding deals, calling brokers, I'll get on, I'll even get on the LoopNet, the Crexy. You get Marcus and Millichap, CBRE. You got MMG. They're another great brokerage. But just reaching out to a lot of brokers. You can actually find a lot of these deals online. And then
Yeah.
if you download the OMs and you download the rent rolls, they'll usually reach out just to follow up and see how you're doing with the underwriting, because they get pinged as soon as you download all that stuff. And
Right.
that kind of helps you, also get on the radar for them and keep a good rapport, as long as they see how steady people are downloading and underwriting, So from there, I go through the rent rolls, I go through the existing financials, the T12s, and just kind of do my own underwriting. They have their OM, that's kind of like a nice pro forma, but you also want to kind of dig into the actual financials, make sure
Oh
everything's
yeah.
placed in the right place and that sort of thing. And then just, from there, you just kind of fireproof it. I have a good group of friends and tight investors that I can meet with. They'll give me good feedback on either myself or feedback on the deal, which is both important in order to get these deals across the finish line. So
Yeah.
100%.
What's some of the biggest mistakes you see investors make when they don't understand the construction side? And I mean, I was actually gonna back it up. What are some of the things you even? Let's actually, before we get to that, let's talk more about the underwriting. What are some of the things like you look for in there? Because I was actually looking at a deal the other week, and a red flag for me in the deal was this is a Florida deal where like it was cut like 2 miles from the water, and they had an expense ratio of like 30%. And that was like an instant red flag to me because I know with what insurance is in Florida and what the rents were, there's no way you can be running a multifamily at like 30%. Like 45, 50, to 50% was kind of what I was expecting, to see. So that was almost like instant red flag. And then I noticed they left out a whole year of financials and, and so,
interesting. Yeah, I see.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
would.
what is it you're looking for? Like, I mean, I'm sure that was one that you also look at, like expense ratio. What do you typically see for the expense ratio for a state like Indiana?
Yeah, you can see some in the 30s and 40s typically.
And that made sense. If this place was in Mississippi, I could have seen it too.
Yeah.
But
But see, you
yeah,
being in that local market, you had a little bit of an edge just because you had that inside scoop. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I just knew that's not what you see with Florida insurance right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Grant
So
talks about it all the time. The insurance blowing the deals. Down in South Florida, and same thing. But yeah, is there anything else in that underwriting that you see as red flags? There was another deal that Will and I were analyzing about a year ago as a trailer park, and I remember seeing all the tree maintenance they had written off as like a one-off expense, like that was never going to happen again. and they said it was like from a tornado. And when I went and drove the property, there's literally trees everywhere. Like there's trees like in between every trailer. Like it'd be impossible for them not to have a problem in the future.
Yeah, I make sure to try to look and see where the expenses are placed. I do try to look where the maintenance is placed on their T12s. Is it above, above or below the line? Is it kind of a capex? Is it labeled as a maintenance? Also look for, things on payroll, maybe opportunities where we might be able to improve in that sort of sense. Also I look at the assets in itself and look for like any extra income that might be available, any income that's not being captured that could be captured.
What's a
Those are
good
kind of some
example
of
of
the.
that?
Like for example, you could do internet. You could also some people like a trash pickup
Hmm.
where I mean some people don't like to lug their trash over to a dumpster and have to heap it over only to find the bag ripping and tearing. We can have people that come by and pick up trash. That sort of thing. Also, like a good value add that I look for sometimes is something that might need like some washers and dryers. That's a nice way to. I mean, it increases the quality of life. You know what I mean? And that's really something that I think people appreciate, and usually they're willing to pay a little extra for some extra convenience. So those are some little things that we kind of look for, um, in doing some underwriting. Also just kind of look red flags though I would say mainly the expenses, also where the taxes lie. Make sure that they're not slipping anything else extra in the expenses. Also another thing I try to look for, especially with newer construction, is maybe duplications on leases. Like so if you look for duplicate names on leases,
Mm,
it might tell you that they're doing some short-term leasing, to fill it up. Sometimes they
sure.
they like to, especially on the newer construction. That's something that I find a lot. You can, if you kind of dig in, you might see some company names on some of the leases, and those are usually signs that it's not fully stabilized yet. They're just actually filling it with short-term leasing. Um, so that's something I look for on some of the newer construction.
It's
Um,
that's a really good one because
Yeah.
something that's becoming really popular here in the Southeast are those larger leasing companies. Like Landing is really big here, and they just will rent half of a brand new construction apartment and then lease out their own on their own website, and they'll fully furnish it and do all of these other things.
Sure, yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
they'll advertise like this thing's 95% occupied,
right.
and by paper it is, but then if you kind of dig in, there's only like maybe 40% that are long-term lease so far,
That's
and
crazy. Yeah,
usually
that's
it's
a
just something they do to stabilize it. And I get that has to be done, but that's something I look for on a lot of the newer construction
No,
because
that's a
that's just an
very
extra layer that you would have to add to management if you were to take that on.
Yeah, no, that's a very good tip. I haven't had anyone tell me about looking for the duplicate names upcoming, and that totally makes sense because I have a bunch of rentals and I get called all every time I put one up for rent. I get companies try to rent it to do short term stuff with it, so that's definitely something to look for. Now, what are
Now,
some,
Sam, I want to also go back to you had another question that I want to come back to. You
yeah,
mentioned what are some of the things that you see like people who do know construction and understand
right? That's
construction,
got to come
what
back
are
to
some things that people fall into there, and
yeah,
I would say uh overestimating for what you think you could take on yourself, you see a lot of house flips that come back on the market because somebody ran out of money in the middle of the project, and so I would just say, like, I'm a construction guy, but a lot of the properties I look for, I like to have something that is turnkey and ready to go. I'm happy to
mhm.
do construction and help somebody get it to that point, but that's something that is a danger, I think, that some people with the skill and the know-how can fall into if they're not careful.
No, that's a really good point. That's a really good. I was actually going to ask you about biggest mistakes that you see investors make when they don't understand the construction side, but when you do understand it, I like that's even more interesting because there are a lot of times you just want to get in and do stuff, but then you're bogging yourself down and you might be missing a deal. Like today, Sam and I, we were able to see a couple deals that we probably wouldn't have if we were on a job site. So
right, yeah, and actually, yeah, went and put offers on a couple. So yeah, it definitely, definitely is good to be able to, be able to be mobile and know where your time's most valued.
For
I think
sure.
I think some that is really important and something that I'm really interested in on, based off of cost control strengths, how you're locking in terms, and what type of terms you're looking for, so you're not getting into a deal with this huge balloon. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. So I do like to have a little bit of an interest only period
mm,
if that's possible. That's something I try to look for. And I don't really look for necessarily to save a bunch of money, but mainly just to build in a plan that will have the income stabilized to where that interest only. When that time frame runs out, then that way the new income will be able to cover that interest only period. So I try to look for any kind of debt that the property can handle once that interest only, because I don't want to be stuck to a market. If the
yeah.
market shifts and say it's 9-10% for interest rates in 4 years, you never know, it could happen. So you just want to make sure that we're set for that stabilized period for at least a good long 10 years at least, typically.
So when you create asset stabilization, once the construction is done, if we're going into new construction, what's the approach by getting the properties leased? Like how are you building that out? Are you hiring property managers? Are you doing it all? What's
Yeah.
yeah,
Property
yeah,
managers
yeah,
would be
you're
the
doing it
first
all.
thing, of course, but I would say market, advertise, market,
Mark.
get on all of the apartments.com, the Zillows, whatever it takes to get the word out that, it's a hot place to live. And,
So
just
what are your top five?
top five for marketing.
Yeah.
I'd say first off, build your own website. That's the first number one. I'd probably go with apartments.com, Realtor, Zillow, REI. Yeah, and probably some local brokers I would use as well. But property management usually is who I would use for that. They know
Gotcha.
a lot of great places to market.
Perfect. What do you I know you probably have something to add to that, Sam, on utilization and marketing.
Yeah, no, I was listening to what he was saying. So like I said, you pretty much rely solely on the managers and the local brokers for that.
No, not at all. I would definitely be involved as much as I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
No, he was saying get with his own website, apartments.com, Realtor, Zillow,
Right.
have a property manager, and then get a couple local realtors involved as well.
yeah, I'm pretty close with my property manager, Alexis Anderson. She's with Anderson Property Group, Property Management Group, and yeah, they're super great. But yeah, we're on board with a lot of those same kind of things that we would use to fill a property.
Awesome. Now, you personally invest in every deal you lead. Why is that important to you, and how does it affect the way you communicate with your investors?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's important to make sure that my investors know that I believe in the deal enough to invest, myself. So, I also have a lot of skin in the game. I've spent, done a lot of time studying and also just getting in the right rooms with the right people. But yeah, I definitely believe in investing, and I do believe that that's super important just to have that confidence, to let everybody know that we're all in this together.
Yeah, dude. No, we're the same way. So we actually we we're putting most of the money, and then we only get just a little bit back from investors.
Right.
Hopefully it'll start increasing as we
Yeah,
show what we can do.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I believe heavily in making sure this deal runs great. I'm not really in it for the money. In fact, there's a acquisitions fee, but that's staying with the deal. That's all going to be right there too. So,
Sure.
yeah,
That's
super excited to have this deal. Well, a lot of other things, come together. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
now when you set up a syndication, and usually there is an acquisitions fee for the person who sourced the property. In most cases, somewhere between like 1% and 5%. What's your acquisitions fee typically?
I usually wouldn't go over 2%, but yeah, typically 1 to 5%. It just kind of depends on, the deal itself. The acquisition fee. I'll be honest, guys. What's really interesting is once you get into these deals, you find out the real cost it takes to get it across the finish line,
Sure.
and that's something that I've learned that those acquisition fees, those are just to replenish, getting it across the finish line. It's usually a heavy lift just to get it there. So
Right.
anybody going into this, just kind of be prepared for that. It's important to know what you're stepping into before you get too far. But yeah, just do your own evaluation on that, and that usually helps.
Yeah. What kind of reporting or updates do you provide to your investors, partners during the project?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some online portals that are available that you can actually have built out, and that you can have live tracking for your investors, to kind of get in and see exactly where everything's, how it's growing and what it's doing.
Yeah. Is there like a company you use that makes a great portal? Or what?
Yeah, well, yes, but yeah, it's I've been doing it through the Black Card program. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, but Bridger Pennington, he's super great at breaking down funds and that sort of thing,
Okay.
and also
Sweet.
has some great setup and structure that's available as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's been another great mentor of mine, especially on the fund side of things and making sure that the syndications run properly. So,
Yeah. What
Dude,
was
that's huge. You'll have to drop that in the chat for sure.
yeah, sure. Bridger Pennington, guys, he's super great. Explains things super excellent. I've been studying him for a long time, and getting connected on a newer level with them. It's been super great having them as a partnership, especially on the syndication side, because they do have a CRM that's available, and then they also have
sick.
like a online portal that they'll set us up with as well.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
So I always like to ask, tell us about your best deal and your worst deal, and tell us about what you're most excited about for your future deals.
Sure. I'll tell you probably my worst deal was we had a couple single family homes. Me and my wife, and she's from Connecticut, so she had a couple homes out there, and we were renting those out. She moved out here. We were trying to manage them from afar, and that just turned into a nightmare. Yeah, like that. One of the houses got broken into, just ransacked everything. They tore out
Dang.
like copper piping and
In
wiring.
Connecticut?
Yeah, so we had to spend a lot of money and get that back just to get it
Oh.
on the market and sell it, to be honest. And that was really, yeah, that was a challenging time. That was also the house that my
That was
wife
a
grew up
Class A
in.
state.
Oh,
What's
no
that?
way.
I thought that was a Class A state.
Connecticut. I love Connecticut, but yeah, I like Indiana a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But yeah, but yeah, no, it's the other thing is it's just managing from afar like that was a challenge, and that's a big part of why I believe in looking for my buy boxes here in Indiana, because I do know the market really well. That's probably the biggest thing is finding. My biggest win is finding a 40-unit deal here in Indianapolis, which is got a lot of great upside, and looking forward to the near future with that.
Dude, awesome. I'm excited to have you back on and talk about it whenever it gets through. So
Let's go.
let's go, man.
Looking ahead, are you more focused on scaling volume or staying laser focused and hands-on for high margin profits?
Yeah, great question. I like the high margin profits. I do like the hands-on approach of the real estate. But But repeat the question one more
Yeah,
time
yeah.
just to make sure.
Are you more focused on scaling volume or staying more more on the smaller deals where you can be more hands on?
Gotcha. No, I do like bigger deals too.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, yeah,
He's
just
not afraid of a
looking.
big deal, man.
I've
Right.
always liked big deals. I've always liked the big deals for sure. I do a lot of construction, and a lot of the construction that I've done is even on a lot of the high rises downtown. And I've always thought I'd love to have a high demand rise. So working towards that for sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
keep us posted.
I
If
love
you're
that.
boots on the
That's
ground and you love Indiana, we'll love Indiana if it makes
right.
sense.
No, that's a solid goal to have a high rise. That's what I heard out of that. So let's see that come to fruition.
Let's
Dude.
go. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, a good goal would be having a crane operator on staff. That means you're doing some good things.
I know where to find them at least,
Right.
So yeah, they're at the ready if I ever need them.
That's
Cool.
awesome, man. Well, man, I've really enjoyed having you on. I've learned a lot. Are there any other highlights or deals that you kind of want to talk about?
Or why don't you give like a quick little bit of what you can tell us about your deal and how people can reach out on that if they want to learn more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out. I'll give you guys my email address. It's james@giant-realestate.com. Yeah, feel free to shoot out, reach out on there. You can also find me on LinkedIn and reach out there as well. But always looking to connect with people. I'd love to add value. If there's anything you guys have an issue that you're stuck on, I'm happy to help you out. Maybe look at some deals that you guys might have as well. So
Cool. And then you're actively working on the 40 unit deal. And how much more capital do you have left to raise?
yeah, we need about 800 more to raise
Okay.
on that.
Cool. And what's the minimum investment amount for a quality investor?
That'll be about 50K. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, look, James can only share a limited amount of the deal on this podcast because he does have to keep things under wraps due to the it being a 504. I'll let you tell what.
It'll be a 506B. Yes.
I would say
Yeah. So due to the nature of the deal, but
he can't share a lot. But I highly, highly, highly recommend you reach out, make a personal contact with James, talk to him about it because he can talk about it all with you, personally once you get acquainted and you guys are friends. So, did I leave anything out on that?
And if anybody has deals they're working on, like I said, I'd love to connect. I'd love to help you guys underwrite. I'd love to do anything I can to give back and help out. So
cool. So if someone's listening, wants to do what you do, what's one mindset or skill they need to master first?
To really see the goal first and foremost. I think for me, I have that mindset to reverse engineer it, and then it takes a little bit of patience to build into that. So I would just say, find the goal, reverse engineer it, find every piece and how it works, and then continue to keep building. But yeah, just push through. There's going to be a lot of times where it's difficult, or even just kind of you might get weary from underwriting deals and not getting much through. But every rep, just like every push up, every sit up, you don't see your muscles grow right away, but just by that continual practice, that's the biggest, most important thing. So.
Dude, I love that. We always like to ask, what are some good book recommendations or podcasts? You've already given us a lot of really good mentors to connect with, but any other ones that you could leave the audience with?
Well, I would definitely say the Elite Real Estate Podcast.
There we go.
Best podcast, right? Ever.
Yep.
But no, you guys have been great. I love what you guys are doing too.
Thanks, man.
You really making a community that educates people in the real estate market. I'll leave it with this. My dad, he said one thing when I was growing up, and he said, just, if you ever get a chance, get into real estate. It's the only thing they're making less of every day. So,
I like that.
He's a wise man.
people now there's so little land, people have to build straight up. So yeah, that's the next thing. Pretty soon, air lots will be something for sale.
Air lot.
Right.
I love it.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay, and again, for the people that want to connect with you, and guys, I'm gonna say you should definitely reach out to James if you're interested in investing in a deal. He's got an amazing multifamily project right now. He's still looking for 800,000 in funds. So definitely make a personal contact with them. But again, where can people reach out to you and contact you if they want to learn more?
Yeah, James at giant-realestate.com.
And I love that.
Feel free to reach out anytime. I'm happy to help any way I can.
I gotta tell you, when James at giant-real estate came through my email, I was like, oh man, check out this email. This is killer. I love it.
We're building something big here. So if
giant.
anybody's interested in the market, I'm happy to help any way I can.
Dude, that is awesome. And yeah, we appreciate everything you share on the show. Really love that tip on when looking at the rent roll, looking for the duplicate names. That is something I'm taking home today. I saw Will light up at that with that one too.
Oh yeah, I have it written down.
Yeah, so I knew that was definitely one that he and I both learned on the spot to keep our eyes open for. But and then definitely going to be checking out some of this other stuff you mentioned. But appreciate you so much coming on the show. If anybody's in the Pensacola area and needs building supplies, I'd highly recommend you reach out to us. Will here is the salesman for all of the Panhandle from Fairhope, Alabama to Panama City, Florida. So he can definitely help you out with all your building supply needs. He handles our windows. Man, what all can you handle? You handle our windows.
I got all your windows in today for your personal house.
Oh, sweet. He handled the windows from my personal house personally, on top of the windows for a lot of our other construction projects. And then what all the other stuff can you do for them at Dufresne, Will?
Yeah, man. From foundation materials, no matter if it's block, if you're doing concrete or pilings, all the way up to peel and stick. So that means all of your framing, all of your roof material, and all of your siding, your doors, your windows, like you mentioned, as well as your interiors. We can help you out with your trim. We can help you out with your doors, etc. So specialty items like specialty railing or decks, all of that stuff, we can help you out. And we've got a great network of purchasing through the purchasing department. And so if there's specialty items, kind of like what Sam's working on a specialty cable railing for an interior system, it's going to look awesome.
I'm doing my custom front door.
Yeah, custom front doors, all kinds of things. So yeah, whatever you guys need, we can work something out.
Definitely. And then everyone who listens to our show is if they're either a busy professional or you're striving to be a busy professional. One thing busy professionals should not do is cook for yourself. And you don't have to, as long as you come into one of my restaurants. I own Clean Eats across the Panhandle. We got a location in Mobile, Pensacola, Shalimar, and Tallahassee. We're a full-on meal prep service along with a healthy dining cafe. Our meals go under $8 a piece. So it's literally cheaper than you can shop for groceries. And then it's definitely easier than cooking for yourself. So definitely come and see me at Clean Eats. Will and I are constantly looking to acquire more lots in Pensacola. We're actually almost done with all the ones we have, which means we need more. So if you're in the Escambia County area and you have some land for sale, we are actively buying it. So please shoot us a message. Go to the eliterealestatepodcast.com. Shoot a message in there. Let us know if you're interested, if you have land for us to sell us, for us to look at. If you're interested in my meals, you want me to, connect you with that, or if you need some building supplies, Will can get in touch with you if you just shoot a message through there. So the eliterealestatepodcast.com, and please subscribe to us on YouTube. And please go reach out to my friend James here. He is, like I said, looking for some more people to jump in his fund so they can take down this great, amazing asset.
Hey, I can't wait to get down to the Panhandle and try your restaurant too, man.
Come on down, man.
Got to come in for a bison wrap.
That area.
Yeah, dude, we got bison wrap, wild caught salmon. I mean, we're the place to be.
So, oh man, I can't wait.
Come on down, James. Anything else you want to tell the listeners?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. I just hope everybody has a great, blessed time. Just, it's a great time to count your things you're grateful for and thankful for. we all have so much, you know. So definitely, I love this time of year.
Same here, man.
That's a great line to close out on. And we appreciate everyone listening for this week on the Elite Real Estate Podcast. And we'll see everyone next week. Thank you for tuning in.